hurricane, a tidal wave. Essence perfect, life looks brilliant. Give me more of this. I'm out of control, about to blow, and I've been caught in the undertow. So toxic, but I can't get enough. You're burying me, burying me. Yeah, you're burying me, burying me. You've got me hypnotized. Push me out of myself. You've got me hypnotized. I can see, I can hear, going crazy, but the light has got me hypnotized. You've got me hypnotized. Can you out of my hand again? Is it wrong? Is it right? It's like I've won my final war without a fight. I'm out of control, about to blow. I've been caught in the undertow. Toxic, but I can't get enough. You bury me, bury me. I know you bury me, bury me. You've got me hypnotized. Push me out of myself. You've got me hypnotized. I am in misery. Everyone is watching me when I'm coming around. They all are judging me when I'm lying on the ground. I've got no shelter, I've got no escape. My life is a prison and I can't run away. I feel it in my bones, I'm losing it all. Stuck in my head, I am in misery. Deep inside myself, all I get, my only family. Stuck in the grave, can someone rescue me? I'm burning alive, I got it, I am in misery.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our local establishment and taking over. I am, of course, OLED, wearing the crown. And this is the natural Hollywood Astrid, the queen of our local establishment. All of the names, all of them Astrid.
Oh,
To
gosh,
start,
there's too many of them.
Kenny Omega was the belt collector, Astrid's the nickname collector. And if you don't understand the Nastral, that means that you haven't watched us talk about Bound for Glory with our good friend Jose on the air, and you should go do that right after the show's over.
Yes, please do.
We got Andre and Melball's Wrestling Talk jumping in and saying, "Hello, gang, get me updated on the NXT stuff." And then Andre, realizing he wasn't on his own account, said, "Hey, get me updated on the NXT stuffs." Millie, you're going to be very happy today if you watched all this episode. The women were everywhere.
Yes,
Everywhere.
we got 4 matches, right?
I think so. I think almost every segment seemed to have women somewhere.
Girl
NXT
power,
was
we
like,
love to see it.
women. Andre is chanting, Nastral, Nastral, Nastral.
I like it. We also listen so differently. I don't know which one to pick.
And Andre says, "Yes, queen." I mean, where do we start? With the women taking, as I named the episode before we got on the air, Women's Tag Teams Takeover, because we opened the show with a women's tag team match. We closed the show with a women's tag team match. Women were everywhere in between. But shit, we had a debut tonight.
Yes.
They've been telling us for weeks that this debut was going to happen at Halloween Havoc. And then Delta decided to come early. Well, not Delta. I should rephrase that. She is now Zarya.
Zarya.
You know what? I don't hate it. I don't hate it. It's not Delta, but I get... She's not a big enough name to keep her name. She's not Stephanie Vaquer, who gets to keep her name. She's not Giulia, who gets to keep her name. And of course, Astrid, being the fantastic co-host that she is. If your feed, like Astrid's, cut out before this happened, this was the debut look. And by the way, we got this for literally 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything in that main event ran long, and we'll get to that. But yes, we have the debut of Zarya, otherwise known as Delta, tonight. Yes. Nice job with the surprise NXT. Nobody reported that she was in town for tonight's show.
No, I haven't seen anything.
Nothing. Good job, NXT. Good evening, my friends. How are you both doing? We're very excited. We've had a good night. Hollywood Astrid and OLED. Yes, indeed. And then we got Zarya. And I love it. I was thinking Daria. No, we have a Daria already in NXT. We can't use that one either. It was indeed a hell of a tease. Oh my god. But she looks good. Like, that's an imposing presence to just stand there with that. Honestly, the reason why I love the white screen debut like that, it reminds me of Gunther's debut as Walter at the UK Takeover, where Pete Dunne beat Joe Coffey, and Pete Dunne standing in the ring, and then the whole screen just goes white, and Gunther's just standing there. Like, that's how big a deal they think it is. It's the first time since then that they've done this. And honestly, there are way worse names than Zarya. Like, it's not Delta, it's not great. But you know what? It's not the Viking Experience. It's not Frankie Monet.
Definitely not.
It's not Lucky Cannon.
Yeah.
You remember Lucky Cannon?
Yeah, dang.
We have other people jumping in the chat. Thanks for the reminder to watch the show with Hilary. Absolutely. Bound for Glory is Saturday night, so definitely go ahead and check that out there. Chris Parrish is in the chat. Hello, Mr. Parrish. Thank you for joining us. As far as name changes go, it really is on the better of WWE name changes. Oddly enough, and sadly, I didn't pay much attention to the show tonight because I was in a mood. We will fill you in, but it's definitely something you're going to want to see later on. STG is completely right. I miss when debuts were such a legitimate surprise. Like, and the best thing is we knew she's in Florida. We knew she's at the PC, and they promised us her on Sunday. So nobody was thinking we'd see her tonight. I was assuming we'd get a match for her on the show as like the opening match. She'd come out and decimate Danny Palmer. I mean,
she can do that anytime she wants.
Well, yes, but there's many reasons to decimate Danny Palmer. But, you know.
Very much so.
She's a good solid worker as well, and this debut looks solid. They've been vignetting her for 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Like,
I was there about a month on this one, yeah.
They're ready. They want her to be a star. So yeah, it's they've put thought, they've put effort behind this debut. They're ready for it. We've got Millennial Noob coming in saying hello, everyone. Hello. We have Will Chisholm. I thank Julie and Stephanie for dragging a good match out of terrible toxic, or as he says, toxic attraction. Yeah. I mean, to be honest, Fallon and Jacy aren't that bad. But yes, I do appreciate that they were able to get a good match out of them. No comment, and she's scary. Yeah, she is a bit scary. And you know what? It's been a long time since WWE's had a scary diva. It's been a long time. And I say diva in the best of light. Like, because when I think of scary diva, I go back to Beth Phoenix. That's the last time I think WWE had a scary diva. Because Rhea became scary, but Rhea started out bubblegum pop. So that don't count. She came over. She came over for the May. I see SGG's comment. We're going to ignore that. She came over bubblegum pop, and then she went back to the UK, and all of a sudden she was an emo punk.
Yep.
So yeah, I go all the way back to Beth Phoenix, I think, for truly frightening looking. I mean, as a kid, I remember Bull Nakano, and I remember Bull Nakano was frightened me as a child. Bull Nakano was so good. I'm glad she's in the Hall of Fame. Yes, Ed is a scary diva. Great. Fuck you too, Overlord. Fuck you too. Right. I guess we should start in the beginning of the show, and we'll get to everything else that happened. The meta women, as I have them in my notes, are meta 4, Lash Legends and Jakara Jackson. Took on Damage Control, which ended in no contest when Chelsea Green and Piper Niven came in to interfere and ruin the festivities. However, they kind of saved things because the end of that match kind of was a train wreck. I mean, I understand the reason why everybody brings this up, but we'll continue to point out to everybody. I've been talking positively about Lash Legend for at least 6 months.
The roles have been reversed. It's down Lash and then Lola's on the bad side.
Yes, now Lola's on the bottom.
And Nikita's along there too soon.
Oh, Nikita's headed there, but Femi, I'm gonna have words for Oba in this show, so don't you worry. We're gonna clip that and send it to him, and I'm gonna get roasted on the social medias. Papa Smokes is here. Hello, Papa Smokes. Thank you for joining us. We greatly appreciate it. Rhea has had like 12 evolutions, and she's still not 30.
Yeah, yes, but Pokemon.
Yes, but everything other than the first to the second are all just various stages of emo punk. I mean, Dami Mommy, emo punk. I'll give you 3, but everything else is just kind of a shade of what she's already been in some form or fashion. Chelsea Green did go full clueless tonight. It was great.
Yes.
No, your hashtags are not legendary. Get the fuck out of here, Overlord.
Damn, Ed is aggressive tonight with Bobby.
I am aggressive tonight. Obafemi has me in a mood. Just as long as Jay White. Papa Smokes is right. Rhea does need to go full Luna Vachon. Face makeup, back to the old way with the chains and everything. No hugs. No. Shut up, STG. All right, Astrid, talk about this match or talk about the botch if you want to, because that was the beginning of the end of this thing.
I feel bad that it happened to Io, though, for people. Like, I don't want to say it like that, but you can expect that kind of thing to happen to, like, I don't want to say the rookies, but like the newer girls and not her. I feel like she saved herself at least in that aspect, but I feel like after that, it just like, I feel like that kind of, I think about it this way, it's like a routine. And I feel like that took her off of the routine for that moment there. And I think that's what messed up the rest of the sequence there that they had. But I feel like even before that, they had a good match. So I feel like it was entertaining. They had a good back and forth. They were able to showcase both teams as well. It wasn't just like, oh, we're the veterans and we're going to take over. No, they have really well balanced match that even at points I thought Jakara and Lash were going to win the match. And there's so many points that I went, are they going to win over the vets here? Like, there's no way. But I'm glad at the same time that we have Piper and Chelsea come in, cost that DQ. I feel like sooner or later, hopefully, we get a fatal 4-way for the women's tag team championships. I mean, it just smells fatal 4-way to me, like coming up soon. So I feel like that's something that I would love to see happen. The way it's happening in the main roster, I don't think it'll happen there, but who knows? But either way, I love having, and then Chelsea with her clueless outfit at 10 out of 10 on that one as well. But again, I feel like it was a decent opener, so I'm not gonna complain much about it.
No, the match itself was really good up until Io fell off the top rope. And again, it's uncommon for Io. Mistakes happen. Look, I'm not sitting here and I'm not gonna get on Io. It's fine. Shit happens. We all know it. They know it. But she rolled out of it. She didn't just fall flat on her face and she rolled right through it. Went into something else. She worked with Lash to find another spot to do the thing. Like, they did really well coming out of it. but it threw all the timing off. And with Lash and Jakara, you can't throw the timing off. They're not talented enough yet to be able to handle something like that. But they were doing very well. I agree with you. I thought they were going to win. There were points in that match where I'm like, oh, I went into that match going, Io and Kairi are winning. And then there are points in that match I'm like, wow, they're gonna let Lash and Jakara win. And then the interference happened. I'm like, this makes a lot of sense. We've been kind of setting this stuff up. Lash beat Piper on SmackDown. Again, leave it to NXT to bring in all the things and tie up all the loose ends to make everything work together. Because Chef Sean be cooking. Yeah, yes, Chef Sean be cooking. I blame her getting raged by Lash and Jakara and Raw and Io's extra selling. You know what? As long as we aren't Carlito, we'll be fine.
We're not going to talk about that anyway.
all we needed was Adam Pearce to say Japanese instead of Chinese to him. That's all we needed to do, and life would have been fine.
And to be honest, just this is the only thing I'll say about that. It's something cultural, and I hate to blame it on this, but in Puerto Rico, it's something we say. And I say we because we get raised that way until you learn otherwise and you get educated. So it does happen in Puerto Rico quite often that we do say Chinese instead of Asian. So it's like it's one of those things that does happen. Once you get educated, then you change it to Asian. So I feel like it was more of like that was him translated from his Puerto Rican Spanish to that directly instead of checking, to put it like that. So yeah, it's a.
But again, all we needed was Adam to just literally correct him. And life would have been fine. Nobody would have given a shit if heel Carlito accidentally called them Chinese if it got corrected in the moment.
Yeah.
But again, we're not talking about that on our Raw. It's an unfortunate mistake. We then get a Hank Tank segment that I missed because I was wishing my daughter a happy birthday because she's been out all night with her family, going ahead and celebrating her 13th. I have a teenager now. I'm in trouble. I'm little Ralph Wiggum sitting on the school bus. I'm in danger.
Close enough.
Do you have any idea what happened in this Hank Tank segment with OTM?
I saw it, but I wasn't paying attention. I know they were just like outside with the race guy, which is funny because I thought his name was Cole Cutler, but then
Cole
because
Cutler,
no, it's not Cutler, it's Cussler.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's an S in there. I kept getting confused because even at the end, Vic was saying Cutler at the same time almost at some point. So I got confused and I had to Google it. That's how bad it was. But I just know they just confronted him because of the race guys. So I was like, that's all I could hear at that moment because I was with my family as I was watching. So
I thank you all for the birthday wishes. Also, I don't know if she's watching, but I know sometimes she watches on repeat. Ophelia Payne, happy birthday to you too.
Oh,
50.
yeah, Peggy.
50.
Don't look 50 at all.
Not a day over 30. Not a day over 30.
I need to know what kind of sorcery she's on because
I was gonna say I need it. I'm already 40 and I look it. I need what Peggy's got.
Yeah.
I bought her board games and I'm getting her the new 2024 D&D Player's Handbook when it comes out. Her mother and family bought her a computer, so those are the things that you buy for a teenager. I'm assuming clothes and makeup are coming at some point, but I haven't got there yet. Yeah, I raised them well. I haven't been there the whole time, but ever since I've raised them well. Anyways, we move on. We then get a scene between Soul, Brindley, and Karmen working out. Well, Brindley's working out with Soul spotting for her, and Carmen's just there. And they're talking about the Ashanti stuff. And then Ashanti, as if he's been summoned by the demons, comes and walks up. And him and Karmen have a back and forth. And he's like, I know you're interested in me. And Carmen's like, no, you cost me a match. I cost you a match. He's like, no, there's more. And they go back and forth. And Carmen's not committing to either side of this. She's kind of playing both ends. And Soul's the one who steps up and says, look, she's not interested in you. And he's like, we'll see. And he walks away. And I'm like, no. Oh, no. And then, as if it couldn't get worse for us, and we know they're definitely doing this. Karmen then turns to Soul and goes, "Oh, so you know what I like now. You know what's best for me. Well, you're going to find out what I like tonight." And I'm like, "Oh, shit." Not only is Karmen going to fall in love with Ashanti the Adonis, she's also going to turn heel in the process. Yes, Ashanti, just go away. Don't be that guy. By the way, Ashanti is, as we'll find out later, that guy. And not in a good way. And then Brindley shocks me. If nothing else could have shocked me in this segment, then Brindley goes, "What the hell just happened?" And Brindley says, "It was a canon event." And I'm like, since when are you a fucking nerd? What do you know about canon events, Miss Brindley? Miss Motivational Speaker, Miss Workout Demon Brindley Reese is a closet nerd? She went up on my list tonight.
My Nikita went down.
We'll get to Nikita later. Stop bringing it up.
I'm not gonna stop.
Millie's apparently upset that she's a closet nerd. Like, I can't. Maybe there's another term for canon event that she's referencing, but I can only think of it like the Miles Morales canon events from Into the Spider-Verse. Like, that's immediately what I went to, but then I'm a nerd, so.
Yeah, I think MCU when I hear canon, to be honest.
Well, I think of a fixed point when I think of the MCU.
Yeah.
We then get Jaida versus Tatum in our second women's match. We've had 2 matches, and so far they've both been women's matches.
Yes.
Great match. Love this match. It did everything it needed to do. Tatum looked great in defeat. Jaida looked like a badass. She wins clean. Out comes, we have Lola trying to come out, but she can't quite come out. The crowd of security stops her. And meanwhile, while all this is going on, Astrid gets in the ring and chokes Tatum Paxley out and shoves her into a road case. What the hell's up with that, Astrid?
I put her down for a nap. She needed some nap time. It's okay.
And then you locked her in a road case? What are you going to send her to? You're going to send her to developmental like Shawn Michaels and Triple H did to the Spirit Squad?
No, just giving her some private sleep time, and giving her a ride. Might as well enjoy the ride.
Does she have air in that?
I mean, I hope so.
I hope so. Millie did catch most. But like I said, Jaida Parker's fantastic. There's nothing stand out about this match. It's not good. Like, there's nothing super, stand out. It was a really quality match. Tatum's having better and better matches every week. Jada's jumped that level, like we talked about with Tiffany Stratton. She's got that Tiffany Stratton level jump at this point. She's now having quality matches with pretty much everybody she goes out there with. She's got the confidence. She's got the push. She's got the attitude. She's got everything she needs to be a star. And they're building her like a star. They're not rushing the championships onto her, but they're keeping her always around a title or in your mindset so that you know that Jaida Parker is a big deal and that they have faith in her. And you know what? At the end of the day, can you really argue with that?
And I like the way they're building her because I feel like no matter what she does, it feels like everything's important. Oh my God, Millie, you reminded me, like, now what does she cost Funny the championship? No, I picked them as champions. Dang it.
Tatum's going to cost them the titles.
I didn't think about that. But yeah, by the way, I feel like even recently, I feel like Tatum, it feels like she gives me a lot of like Yoshi vibes with her wrestling. And I feel like she's been watching those kind of tapes lately. And I like how she's bringing something different to the table because I feel like Giulia aside, none of the girls had that type of really style in NXT right now. So she's bringing something different to the table here. And Jaida, I feel like no matter what she does, she's still looking like a badass. And I was like, this is one of those that I feel like this is one of the instances when what's happening in NXT with like a Carmella and an Alexa, that maybe she doesn't get the championship and she's the woman in the stable with the guys, and she is the one that's stands that among the guys, and she's still standing tall even when the guys are still in NXT. So I feel like she probably will get called out before the guys do.
Oh, absolutely. We'll talk about that more later. Yes, Wendy stuck her in a road case. How dare you? We got our good friend Get the Tables, Tony, joining us. Hello, Tony. I hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did. The women sure did cook tonight. Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
The women took over this show. It was fantastic. Good evening to you. And if you're looking for a place to watch along with any of your AEW content, more specifically, if you're looking for a place to watch Halloween Havoc as it happens, go check out our good friend Tony at Get the Tables on Twitch. You can go ahead and watch the show with him in his watch party with some fantastic people like fantastic people, and SGG is also there.
I was about to say what?
I almost said something nice about SGG. I had to clarify.
I know.
For some fantastic people and STG.
Okay.
But there are some great people in that chat, and there are some great people in that community. So definitely go ahead and support Tony, Diamond Dave, all of them as they do their stuff. I know Tony did a watch along with the Bucks game on Monday night. So definitely go ahead and do that. He does all kinds of wrestling watch along. So make sure you follow him for all of that. If you're on the Twitch side, if you haven't, go ahead over to your Twitch and go ahead and do that. He's doing fantastic content over there. And he's a good friend of the channel. We greatly appreciate him stopping by when he gets done with his shows. Wendy pushes the road case past all the baby faces who don't bat an eye at a woman being kidnapped in front of them.
Amazing.
What the fuck, boys? What the fuck?
I got just like, sure, everything's normal here. Everything's normal. See you later, Wendy.
Like, did they not watch the previous match? Did they not know that somebody's in the road case? Wouldn't you ask questions?
It's Wendy, so not really.
Well,
no.
Nathan Frazier's going to wish he asked questions because he didn't ask questions, and he started going in on Javon about, it's good that at your young age that you've gone ahead and had 2 main events in a row. It's very good for you. And I know you didn't win either of the matches, but you had good showings and you got lots of time ahead of you. And he keeps talking, and Javon's like, dude, you really need to shut the hell up. Like, stop this. You just need to stop talking. And Nathan just keeps yapping and yapping. And even Axiom's like grabbing at him, being like, and he's blowing off Axiom. And then Javon just hauls off and smacks him one. Real good, too. Real good shot.
Yeah.
Axiom gets in the middle to pull Nathan back. Uncle Seti gets in front of Javon to push him away. Javon walks away, and who's there to look at him but Wesley? And he goes, I knew it was only a matter of time before somebody pissed you off like that.
Well,
and I'm like, okay. And they had a really good back and forth here that ended with Wesley going, oh, you know what? You can win the big one. Well, you've got time for that. And Wesley runs like the cowardly heel that he is. Because of course you do when you've just done what he just told you not to do. And you just saw what happened.
Yeah.
Millie says in defense of the baby faces, maybe they didn't want to go to sleep early. You see somebody get kidnapped, you say something.
Do you though? I'm kidding.
Yes.
In NXT, that's a dangerous place. In real
you
life,
you weren't in the parking lot. It's fine.
It's close enough.
No, she wasn't in the parking lot.
No, it's close. So no.
We get a video package that I understood most of, for half of it. My Duolingo was coming in handy as I understood most of what Stephanie had to say. I didn't need, there were words I didn't know, obviously, because I've never heard the Spanish word for the word cliche before. So, obviously there were words I didn't know. But if they hadn't given me subtitles, I could have roughly figured out what the promo was about. She's gone around the world. She's accomplished everything around the world. Now she's here to accomplish this because all roads led to WWE. And she didn't. There was a very convenient line in this that I don't know if it's hers or WWE that put it in. I would have bashed every and any head I needed to be able to be in WWE. And I'm like, is that a shot? Because that sounds like a shot.
That's like a shot.
At AEW, right? It sounds like a shot. I would have done anything to be here, including breaking my contract with AAA, dropping 3 championships at once to debut on a house show, and then not work another date for 3 months. Like, she could have just signed the contract and then just done the dates for AAA for 3 months.
Well, but what I would say is that we don't know what happened behind the scenes, so we can't say much about that end of it. So
she broke the contract with AAA and
contracts are
dropped
the same
3
in Mexico, though.
championships. Oh, trust me, I
Yeah.
understand. I've listened to Conan explain how things work in Mexico. Trust me, I understand that contracts in Mexico are essentially the same thing as the toilet paper that WWE sells with Dominic's face on it. They mean nothing. Because
Bobby, clip that, please.
Because if you haven't heard this story, Conan explained that while working as a promoter for AAA, they would rent out Rey Mysterio for 5 different places for the same day and send 5 people in Rey Mysterio masks to these shows to pretend that they got Rey Mysterio. Because it didn't matter if you got Rey Mysterio as long as you got Rey Mysterio. And no, I'm using lots of air quotes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, AAA was a dirty
So it's
business.
similar to when they tell the kids that they have Anna and Elsa for the birthday parties, and it's not them. Got it.
Yeah, they had a cosplay Rey Mysterio at these shows, a lot of
And then we have an Elsa that cannot sing Let It Go. Got it.
I mean, most Elsas can't sing Let It Go. Damn it, Conan. This is true.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it, Conan. Look, I'm not sitting here saying Conan's a good person. Conan's got his own issues, but
yeah, until you get a DM from him asking you to listen to his podcast.
Listen to his podcast. No. You only get that DM if you're a woman, by the way, just so we're clear. I've posted about that numerous times and never once got an email from Conan. He does not give 2 shits if I listen to his podcast. Oh, I know you do.
Ignored.
Yeah. Most women have. Yeah. Same. Millie's the same. Like I said, I didn't say Conan was a good person. Although he didn't go in the ring and use the reason he got fired in WWE to do a heel turn in Massachusetts this weekend, though. So I guess he's slightly better than Drew Gulak. I mean, let's talk about that.
When I get into that next.
Rizzo's been attacked backstage. We don't know by who, but somebody.
Do we?
Oh, yeah. No, we don't know. We think we know. I mean, I think we know. I think I know who did it.
I think we know.
It's not who Vic Joseph thought did it.
I think we know who it was.
I think we do too. Millie says no, he's definitely shitty as fuck. And then nope. I'm assuming that's talking about Drew Gulak. Yeah, we're not talking about Drew Gulak.
No, we're not doing that.
I just mentioned it so that Asher knew that I saw her messages. I haven't responded to them. Before all this, I wanted to get to this stuff because it was way more fun. Lex has come in and bitches at Charlie that he wants a Heritage Cup match. That he believes that nobody likes him because his dad was Brian Pillman. No, it's not because your dad's Brian Pillman. It's because you've been an ass for the past 1.5 years. And your beard looks like you're a fucking idiot.
Because he is an effing idiot. He doesn't look. Well, he is.
Mm-hmm. Yes, but the beard makes him look like one. His actions make him prove that he's one.
Yeah.
By the way, Millennial Noob going ahead and saying what we were all thinking, what we're also going to talk about later, that Rizzo was attacked by Nikita Lyons. Yes. That's exactly what we think happened. And we'll talk more about that when I yell at Oba Femi. We then get to Oba versus Luca. Poor Luca. These two had really good chemistry.
They did, yeah.
Really good chemistry. By the way, first men's match of the night. This is about what, 8:45?
Yeah.
This feels like it was like 8:30, 8:45 when this match started. Like they went a good half an hour with no men's action in the ring.
Yep.
Good on them. This is great. Like Oba decimates Luca, but Luca gets a lot of good shots in. He has a lot of creative offense. He shows a lot of vulnerabilities that Oba Femi has. Oba sells really well in this match, and then Oba wins because, of course, Oba wins. And then after winning, he tries to beat up Luca some more. Stacks gets in. He beats up Stacks a little bit. He throws them both to the outside. Tony tries to come make the save. Eventually, and it was a while.
It was
Tony does get zip tied to the bottom rope. By the way, this is why we use handcuffs as opposed to zip ties, because zip ties are hard to get closed. Handcuffs are really easy. But after getting Tony zip tied to the bottom rope, he goes ahead and does his signature move to Stacks through a lean table against the barricade. He then lays a ladder from the ring apron to the commentary table, and then Vic Joseph calls out for help. Who's going to try to stop Oba Femi, Vic? Are you fucking kidding me? And then he gives a fall from grace to Luca through the ladder. By the way, Luca, if you need a nurse, somebody is available for you. And she's in Florida. She's not far away. And she's volunteering her services free of charge.
Yes.
She has no significant other. She is readily available for you should you want to, Luca. So if you need to take her up on it, you have a private nurse right here in Ashton Pizarro waiting for you. We got tables, and that ladder did indeed snap.
Look at Ed putting me here in the spotlight.
Oh, really? Hollywood Astrid, the natural queen of our local establishment, and I'm putting you in the spotlight. If I wanted to put you in the spotlight, I would have done all of this with you on the big screen.
No. You're exposing me, my DMs.
I mean, I am. But honestly, if you didn't think I would, you wouldn't have said those things.
True.
There are things you DM me that I don't talk about on the air, and there are things you DM me that I do talk about on the air.
Yes.
At least I know which is which.
I'm glad.
Would you like me to talk about the other things?
No.
Didn't think so. Oh, we get another promo for Delta. She's coming to Halloween Havoc. And then at the end of the promo, they tell us that her name is now Zarya. And again, it's not good, but it could be worse. It could be way worse. This is not awkward. This is fine. Ashton's having a good time. Trust me, if this were awkward, I would have gotten a look from Astrid about 5 minutes ago. Trust me, I've done things that have made Astrid feel very awkward. This isn't it.
Yeah.
Andre Chase gets a really cool promo about Chase U opening its doors for others, taking other people in, proving to the world that they're better than what they were. You know, going ahead and molding people for the betterment of everybody involved. But Ridge didn't want that. Ridge was never about that. And you learn more about somebody in defeat than you learn about them in victory. Really, really good promo by Andre Chase. And then he shocked me. Andre Chase versus Ridge Holland at Halloween Havoc in an ambulance match.
My question for you about that is, did we ever get to see them spinning the wheel for that? Because I feel like I missed a chapter here.
No, they just made... Not every match is spin the wheel, make the deal.
I know, but I was like, I would have liked to have seen that, like, one of them, or at least Andre, like, spinning the wheel, even backstage, just to get that moment of, like, oh my God, it's an ambulance match. And the way he said it, I was like, I don't mind him saying it, but it would have been nice to see him spinning the wheel, too, and getting that. But still, I was like, wait, did I miss something of the review when the match?
No, I think Andre because he was in the promo, he's like, I'm gonna make this so that I can't make you feel the pain
Mm-hmm.
that Duke feels. I can't make you feel the pain that Riley feels. I can't put you through the emotional pain that you've put Thea through.
Mm-hmm.
But I can make you feel the pain that you put me through by putting you in an ambulance. And I'm like, that's really cool.
Yeah.
It's a match that narratively makes sense to have an ambulance match. Like, what the fuck? A natural stipulation in a wrestling match? Oh, goodness.
Say what?
I know. Andre has clearly been playing 2K when his downtime in the hospital. Absolutely. And by the way, if you don't know, that 2K right now is on PlayStation Plus, the 2 higher levels for free. So if you want to play 2K24, you can go ahead and get that. And you can download the new Bray Wyatt edition for $9.99 if you already have the game. And you get the new Fiend, the Fiend Championship belt. You get some My Faction content. You get the brand new Bo Dallas Uncle Howdy.
Yeah.
All kinds of good stuff in there. So go ahead and spend it. Spend your $9.99 on there. What did you think of the segment with Chase? It was pretty good.
Yeah, I really liked that. Like, not only was it to the point, but I feel like he did very well to like connect everything that's been happening, give us a big summary of what's happened so far, and I feel like it set up everything very well with putting it as an ambulance match. So,
Millie asked a question. I'm gonna let Astrid answer first. Is Halloween Havoc when Thea finally does something?
I'm torn about it just because I want her to get like physically involved somehow, and I want that to happen, but at the same time, are we gonna get a turn from her? Something's like different in that aspect is at the same time. So I'm not sure, but I do want her to get involved in some capacity because it's something that I feel like we have been missing from this. The fact that she's the one that insisted on having him be welcome to the group the way she did. So I thought I'm like it will be, I don't want to say nice, but it's like a good way to like wrap things up in a way by having her get involved. But I'm like, does that mean does she turn though? What is happening? So I was like, imagine Chase getting his heart broken not once but twice.
Well, if you're gonna get your heart broken, it's gonna happen by Thea. That's for damn sure.
Yep.
SCG just literally put Chef Sean cooking. Just literally give us anything. I agree. I agree. She needs to do something.
Yep.
I'm gonna let you talk about this next segment because I'm sure you liked it a hell of a lot more than I did. Even though I enjoyed it thoroughly, as I told you. Ethan Page and all ego Ethan Page and Trick Williams face to face.
Oh gosh, I enjoy this so much, especially coming from Ethan. I like, and whenever he gets to talk, and having him come here and tell Trick is like, it took me 17 years to get to where you are basically in less time. And he's like, I don't think you ever tasted blood the way I tasted blood and like enjoyed it. So it's like you never had to bleed the way I had to bleed. And so many things, the way he just compares his like trajectory to to Trick, and then when he talks about, it's like, look at you with your abs and your robe, and you're like all clean cut and well done, and your hair's all done, like there's no hair out of place. It's like not a lot of people get to have that kind of thing, and it's like I think it does show the difference now in careers in people when you compare people like Ethan who have been doing this for so long versus people like Trick who just with NXT in general, like a lot of them come through the NIL program, and it's such a different, like, I don't want to say they cut, but it's like it's a different kind of, I don't want to say it. It just, their career's a different path than what you think it is for like most people, to put it like that. And I feel like their time it gets cut off because of the indie kind of thing, because they don't have that indie experience. So to be able to see the contracts between their careers and where they're at to versus where they are now, it was so interesting to see it from their point of view. And again, and I like how Ethan points out, he's like, with this type of match, the Devil's Playground, he's like, it benefits me, not you. It benefits me and only me. And the way he projects that onto Trick, I was like, this was so well done. I adore when he talks.
Yeah. This is great. I do love this whole segment. I love Ethan Page talking about the benefit that all the people who get to WWE early get. Having the medical staff on hand at all times. Having a gym that's open the whole time. having the best coaches in the world at your fingertips to teach you anything and everything you need to know, and how he had to work 17 years to get here. He had to learn everything the hard way. And it's not a knock at Trick for cutting the line or cheating the system, but it's his way of being like, you don't know the things that I've had to go through to get here. And Trick's like, no, I get it. And he's like, no, you thinking that you get it proves exactly why you don't get it. And he talks about feeling the blood running into his face. And he talks about the copper taste of blood and how when you taste it enough, you eventually turn to like the taste of the copper blood. And I'm like, that's a really good promo. And then Trick's like, look, I've battled Mello in this, really bad rivalry. And I took Ilya on 4 times and I took out Pete Dunne. And Ethan just laughs and he goes, and you think any of those guys were out here to hurt you? You think any of these guys were out here to harm you? Are you fucking kidding me, dude? He's like, I'm thinking of every possible way to hurt you, to make you bleed, to end this journey that you're on. It was sensational. And again, such simple storytelling. Beyond all of that, Trick Williams is in all white. Head to toe, he's in white clothes. What colors are Ethan in? Black and red. The colors associated with evil and the devil. And Ethan, as if we didn't get all of the imagery, literally looks at Trick Williams and goes, when we get to Sunday and we're in the devil's playground, we play by the devil's rules, and those are mine. I mean, this is why Ethan Page is in NXT. This is why Ethan Page is here. And yes, Trick had a lot of good lines in this, but Trick got schooled in how to cut a promo tonight. And Trick's not a bad promo. He's not Roman Reigns. Trick can cut a perfectly fine promo. But Ethan cut him down a few feet with this promo. And it was fantastic. And it makes Ethan feel bigger. And if this is Ethan's last match, and I think it might be, in NXT, he's going to go out on a banger before he goes up to the main roster. Because honestly, I don't think he needs to be here any longer. He could have debuted on the main roster, as Millie says. On experience alone, he could have been on the main roster. I actually think it was a really good idea to bring him to NXT, to let people see him. But Shawn Michaels saw him. Triple H saw him. CM Punk saw him. They've all given him the green light because Punk tried to laid the groundwork for a potential feud with Ethan Page. Now, it doesn't have to be a feud. Nothing ever has to come of it. But they laid the groundwork in case they want to go to it. But Ethan doesn't need to be in NXT. And honestly, we have a long line of heels. We could afford to lose one if we needed to. Hell, we could afford to lose 3 of them if we needed to. This promo was fantastic. I loved every minute of this. It was well worth all the time they invested in it.
Yes, finally, please.
I mean, I'd hard to argue that he isn't getting the proper push right now.
Yeah, but I mean, like in the main roster, like that when he.
No, I agree. I agree that on the main roster you need to give him a proper push too. But I'm like, at least right here, right now, Ethan Page is getting that. He walked in the door in Kevin Owens style treatment, got the NXT championship. Yeah. And he's still in title feud. And he's still working with the top baby face on the roster. And he had a face-to-face with CM Punk. Like, there's not much more he can do in NXT.
Yeah, at the last baby, once I saw that clip of Triple H talking to him backstage, I went, he's gone. And I was like, it's bittersweet just because I really love Ethan and I love what anything that he can get like this. I cannot wait to see that for him. But at the same time, I love him in NXT and I don't want that to get away from us. But this man deserves it. Just put a rocket to him and just let it go.
Hello, Bobby Stats. Thank you for joining us. But it's like, honestly, Ethan Page versus LA Knight. Yes, please. Ethan Page versus Braun Breaker. Sure. I'd be down for that. Ethan Page versus Damian Priest.
Sold.
I was like, done. That's it. That's all I need. Done.
Yeah.
Hard save. Yep.
Mhm.
All right. We move on. We have Cora and Roxanne backstage. Cora, by the way, getting the Mama Fries outfit approval tonight.
No, Mama Fries, she turned heel.
Mama Fries loving
No.
the sequin bodysuit that Cora Jade was wearing.
No.
Said it was sensational.
Dang
They're then quickly joined by the Terrible Toxic, who are talking down about Stephanie. And now, by the way, so to clarify, Terrible Toxic believes that any of the NIL people don't belong here because they didn't pay their dues. Then, now they don't believe that Stephanie Vaquer and Giulia don't belong here because they did pay their dues, and because of all the dues they've paid, they skipped to the front of the line, as opposed to having embarrassing matches on AEW Dark under the name Tesha Price.
I can't wait.
You've seen that match. That match is fucking awful.
We're not doing that right now. Anyway, this is the part that it started here, but it continued on with the match later. But I want to mention it here. Booker in commentary saying that, oh no, Stephanie and Giulia don't belong here. I went, what? Are you okay? Do you need help?
Yes, he's always
needed. They don't belong here.
We've been talking for 8 months about how much he needs help.
I know, but dang, like that was terrible. It was like, oh, I agree with the girls. Like they don't belong here.
He accused Vic Joseph of having an affair.
I don't know what he was on today, but it was on a little extra something.
His haterade is stronger than mine.
It's getting there.
Either that or his love for Roxanne Perez has completely blinded him. It's probably the second.
So. Yeah.
Bobby Machino, Giulia and Stephanie are former NWJP Strong Women's Champions, and 3 girls of the faction haven't won a belt. No, don't even have to put that belt. Only Fallon's ever held any belt. Oh, no, sorry. Jacy Jayne's a 2-time women's NXT tag team champion. Okay, fine. They've all held tag team gold. None of them have held singles gold.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll do this real quick. During the main event, not during the main event. During the Ashanti the Adonis portion of the Karmen Petrovic match, and I'll do it because it's literally the next thing.
Yep.
During this next match with Sol Ruca and Karmen Petrovic, Ashanti's in the crowd, and they're talking about Ashanti talking to his quote unquote friend. Oh boy, I cannot believe I'm going to say this. So Booker T says, Vic, haven't you ever had a friend? And again, using air quotes. The air quotes. And Vic's like, no, I'm a married man. I've been married for 2 years and I'm happily married. The only friend I hang out with other than my wife is my best friend, and he's on SmackDown, a.k.a. Johnny Gargano. To which she goes, sure, you're just hiding it. And I'm like, did you just accuse Vic Joseph of having an affair on television? On television that his wife watches on a weekly basis. Look, just because Charmel doesn't give a damn where the hell you stick your magic stick doesn't mean that the rest of us live a world where we can just screw whoever we want, Booker.
I
don't think I'm going to be Booker T's friend.
Nobody does.
No, but I'm saying things that but he really, how Charmel can't. She has to just either not give a damn or just ignore it all as a character. And I don't believe it's a character. Anyways, one last thing about that whole Jacy, Jayne, Terrible Toxic, Roxanne, and Cora segment. In the background of that, we had Lexis King trying to talk Dante Chen into being his cornerman for the Heritage Cup match that's coming next week. Bobby Petito. Oh my God. Poor Mackenzie. Like, I get it, but like at the same time, it's like, come on, Booker. Like, you've taken this too far.
I don't know how they still have him there. No.
I really don't. I really don't understand how he's still there. I really don't. You would have figured he would have gotten fired by now, but no, he's still there. Run, Dante, run! Dante did run. He told them no because we get something else later on. We'll talk about that in a bit. Karmen versus Soul. This would have been so much better if it wasn't all about Ashanti the Adonis.
Agreed.
Like, it's a fine match. It's a good match. It doesn't get a ton of time, but it gets enough. They don't do anything wrong in the match. They have a really good one. But Karmen is constantly distracted by Ashanti in the crowd with a woman who he then takes to the back with him, which distracts her enough to get her soul snatched by Soul Ruca for the 3 count. I mean, there's not more to say.
No.
Yes, Bobby, we've been calling for that one for a while. Booker T does need to get off commentary and focus on reality. By the way, reality of wrestling is fantastic. If you haven't watched it, please do. They just uploaded recently the Sherry Martel taping show. Definitely go watch that. One of our favorites is down there. Gigi Ray, one of our favorites. We adore Gigi Ray. We want her in NXT as soon as possible. Ashanti does love the blondes, doesn't he? They are mostly blondes. I mean, honestly, if as long as it identifies as a woman, Ashanti the Adonis is going to try to pick it up. But am I wrong?
Tell me I'm wrong.
No, I need this one.
And I mean, folks, where's the lie?
No, the other one's only for you.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
There you go.
We're starting to get way too many of these clips.
I love it though.
We then get the most awkward thing, and now I'm gonna have words for my boy Obafemi here. But
you need the big screen for this one though. This
I don't
is your
need
moment.
the big screen for this.
Yes,
No,
you do.
we're not giving me the big screen for this. Anyways,
Okay.
Nikita's backstage talking to TNT. Tyrone and Tiguan, I believe are their names.
Tyree.
TNT. That's why I call them TNT, so I don't do that.
I noticed.
And they're like, oh, it's so great that you're back. You had a great match. And she's like, thank you. But where you guys been? What you guys been doing? Oh, we've been biding our moment. No, one of them have been hurt, but it's okay. We'll ignore that fact. She's like, no, you got to take your moment because you never know when the moment, I got jumped from behind and you never know what moment's your last moment and if the next moment's going to come. So you got to seize today. And then Obafemi comes walking through the curtain and hands her entrance robe and says, you dropped this. And she says, thank you. And he goes, no, thank you. And walks away. And I'm like, stay away, Oba. Stay away from her.
First it's Karmen, Ashanti, now Nikita and Oba. I'm done.
I mean, I don't know if there's anything romantic going on between Oba
Not
and
romantic,
Nikita.
but I just don't like the pairing whatsoever.
I mean, I don't mind the pairing of Nikita and Oba. I just don't like the overtones of him handing her entrance robe.
It almost felt like, here, you dropped this crown. And it's a robe instead of a crown.
Yes, it's exactly. She dropped her crown, my crown, this crown. She dropped my crown.
So what that moment, it just felt like that's like, here, you dropped this queen. I just got it for you.
Do the meme. No meme. No big screen. No big screen. Nobody needs to see that. But yeah, Obafemi seemingly found Nikita's robe next to where she attacked Rizzo. Now, I don't remember seeing the robe near Rizzo's body. But I'm
No.
going to assume that she took out Rizzo.
All I remember seeing next to Rizzo was some kind of ring, but that's
Yeah.
all I see nearby.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Anyways, I'm sad with you, Oba. You may no longer be my boy if Oba breaks the bro code. Me and him are done. I'm gonna find myself a new boy.
What?
I might have to find myself. If he breaks the bro code, I'm gonna have to find myself a new boy.
STG, that's a clip for you, like a bookmark it for later.
I would have had Tyson DuPont and Tariq Igwe do a match in TNA as NXT. Again, I believe Tyreek, is the one who just got back from injury. So I remember seeing one of them in a big ass knee brace at one point. So I know one of them was on the shelf, which is why they stopped the person they were getting.
Isn't he the one that was dating Lola? That's why we saw the picture.
Yeah. I'll take Oba gladly and quitting on him. I'm not quitting on him. He's trying to take my woman. He's breaking the bro code. It's not allowed.
No, my God.
Hank and Tank have a match with OTM. The NASCAR man. And by the way, I'm a big NASCAR fan, and I'm like the NASCAR man because I could care less about this guy. Cole Custer.
The NASCAR man.
The NASCAR man. What if Lainey Reed from NXT Level Up? What the hell's a Lainey Reed? Astrid.
I
What's a
showed you
Lainey
pictures
Reed?
of her.
Yeah, but who's a Lainey Reed? Is she any good?
Yeah, she's been impressing a lot
by the
of
way,
people.
By the way, for those that don't know, Astrid shows me like 15 different Twitter posts a week of different random people. And I'm just like, okay.
They're not random.
They are random. They're random people from Level Up.
No, they're not random. They're just girls that I know in the background because we're gonna need to know them for later. I'm trying to get it ahead of it.
No, we'll know them when they give them names on television properly. Until then, they're unknown woman number 15,435. Because that was a great gimmick on NXT.
Yeah, I know.
I missed the 2.0 era. We just got to call everybody unknown that we didn't know. That was so much fun. Remember when Von Wagner was an unknown guy? You saw him in a backstage. Who the hell is this guy? I never thought a Northeasterner like Ed was a NASCAR person. Here, I'll drop some knowledge on you for that one, STP. Not only am I a Northerner who liked NASCAR, my father raced in the early days of NASCAR against Fireball Roberts in the early days. My father and my uncle had season tickets to the New Hampshire race that happened every year up here for a long time. And I worked for a radio station doing pulling clips, editing clips, and hosting a post-race show and being the phone bit for the pre-race show for the NASCAR station that covered NASCAR up here on the radio. So I've been to the racetrack. I've been on pit lane. I've walked to the pits during a race. Like, oh yeah, I'm a very, very big NASCAR fan. They lost me when they went to the heat system, which Astrid's now ignoring me completely.
No, I'm listening to you. Oh.
When they went to the heats of having 3 different heats in the races, that's where they lost me. I'm a traditionalist when it comes to my racing. For the most part, yeah. My uncle raced locally before I was born. My dad knew a guy when I was a kid who still raced locally, who he worked with. So I would hear about it every time we'd go see Dad at the shop. So yeah, there's a lot of history between me and auto racing that I've thoroughly enjoyed. But unfortunately, it is mostly part of the past. Ed is old and a traditionalist, doesn't like change. I don't mind change. I just don't like change for change's sake, which is what they did there. But that's besides the point.
I was gonna say the only part you corrected is that Ed is old. That's all you got correct in that statement. Just letting you know.
Yeah, I'm very much not a traditionalist normally. It's only in racing that I'm actually a traditionalist. Anyways, Nathan's yelling and screaming about wanting Javon Evans in a match. And I thought he was trying to get a singles match. And then he said, "We'll put up the tag team titles." And Ava looks at him and goes, "Don't you want to ask your tag team partner about this?" And Nathan doesn't even bother looking at him and goes, "It's fine." He's agrees.
No.
And Axiom's like, I don't.
No, Axiom goes, "Ay, Dios mío."
Well, that's later. That's later when the match is made. And oh, well, they're gonna lose the titles now, huh?
I did not agree to this. I would have done it with another team, that not like a makeshift team, but okay.
Uncle Seti and Javon Evans.
Because at least I know that Axiom is a makeshift team, but they've been teaming longer than Cedric and Javon have. So,
well, they've been alive longer than Cedric and Javon too. But what's your point?
Jeez.
By the way, the age of Bouncy instead of the age of Alexander. The age of Bouncy. New name.
No.
Lock it in.
No.
Lexus is upset that he can't find a corner man, so he goes to Ava. And he tells Ava that he thinks nobody wants to be his corner man because they think he's like his dad. And he's like, "I'm not like my dad, but you know what? We can't all be like you guys. Everybody loves you guys." And I'm like, "Another one." And by the way, for those that don't understand, no, it's not Fraxium. First, we'll go back to this. No, not Fraxium. Naxium. Naxium. Not Fraxium. For those who don't know why we're freaking out about him saying, everybody loves you guys to Ava, this is yet another of the name drops that she's the Rock's daughter without ever actually telling us that she's the Rock's daughter. They spoon feed this to us here. And I had to explain this to Mama Fry because she was like, "Why are you freaking out about that?" I'm like, "Because."
It hasn't happened in a while, though.
No, it's been a while. That's why I was surprised they were still doing it.
Yeah.
And it's like, look, like the reason why they do it is because somebody like Charlie is here because his dad got him in the door. And he's had enough skill and talent to be able to keep himself here. Lexus King had enough skill and talent elsewhere, along with a name that WWE liked, to bring him in and give him a shot. And according to the people there, he seems to have enough talent that they want to keep him. They must be seeing something that I'm not. And Ava, she's the opposite side of the Charlie Dempsey one. She doesn't have the talent they want. She's not good enough. But because she's the Rock's daughter, we're going to find something she can do. And by the way, she's doing it very well. She is a fantastic GM. She's second best GM in WWE. Granted, that's not hard when Adam Pearce is running around letting chaos happen on his brand on purpose. Yes, Adam Pearce, I watched the content. You're letting it happen on purpose. Did you miss that one? Where they asked him, somebody asked him about the serenity of Raw. And he's like, "No, I purposely drafted a brand that was going to be chaotic and frenetic energy-wise because I want the chaos to happen. That's what brings viewers in." And I'm like, "No, that's not what brings viewers in, you fucking idiot."
It makes me laugh because compared to Nick feels like a dad that smells trouble. And he's like, something's happening. He's already like almost there as it's happening. He's like, "Everybody, medic. It's like, how?"
By the way, Hassan Terrell, hello. Nice to see you. It's a new name I haven't seen before. Thank you for joining us. We greatly appreciate it. If only there was a person who was like good at running businesses and, had a gimmick where, she's a business lady and could be an assistant GM on Raw. If only one of those people got drafted to Raw from NXT for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah.
Can you think of anybody?
No, not really.
That might be what I was laying down.
Yeah.
I love Noob and Bobby. My boys who don't understand sarcasm. I love you both. It's great. Thank you. I greatly appreciate it. Anyways, that
Oh,
sounds like a
gosh.
New York Jets GM. Not saying they're taking, but they're absolutely suck. Well, that's because they're the New York Jets. Of course, they absolutely suck.
I was about to say, you're talking to the guy from Boston here. Of course he's going to agree with you.
We get a Ridge promo, which apparently happened in the back of an ambulance. I didn't notice this was in the back of an ambulance until he closed the doors. Did you? Oh, yeah, I missed it. I completely missed this entire promo as being cut in an ambulance. I just thought he was somewhere backstage. Yep, totally missed this was in the back of an ambulance. But he agrees to the ambulance match. But he agrees to the okay, Axiom. He agrees to the ambulance match. We get a Tony D promo backstage where he basically tells Oba that, I get it, Oba. I took something that meant something to you. You've taken away something that means something to me. You want me all by myself on Sunday? You've got me. But be careful what you wish for. Poor Oba. He's going to lose. But it still sets up Oba versus Trick.
Possibly.
Which is what I want, which is where I want that to go. I want to get down this road of Oba versus Trick. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
It'll be fun, but I don't want him as champion. I'm sorry. I like Trick. Giving a little bit longer after everything that's happened.
And then we get the main event.
Wait, no. We get the stare down between Damage Control and Giulia and Stephanie on the way there.
Yeah, we don't care about that.
Yes, we do. It's amazing to watch.
We didn't want it last week. We specifically told people they were silly for trying to force feed this down our throats. We're going to pretend like it didn't happen, so those people can't say I told you so.
Yes, it did happen. That's amazing. Yeah.
That's not about the main event.
No. Thank you, Millie. We do care.
Take more of my haterade.
Yes, of course. Fuel up. I think you're gonna need it. No, again, this was a fun match too. I feel like it was another one that, just like the opener, I feel like it was a good balance between both teams of showing off both of them. I love Giulia and Stephanie as a team. I kind of wish we had them as a team a little bit longer because honestly, between this and Yelwing having this probably it as a team, to be honest. But again, I love the chemistry they have with each other with the girls. At one point, we do have Jasmine on the side. She starts holding onto Giulia's leg, and then Fallon and Jacy take advantage of that. And there's also a point that I liked how this happened. I don't know what they were going for towards the top rope, but Fallon reverses it in a way with Giulia that I was like, what just happened? It took me a moment to realize that Fallon had reversed it. I think not once, but twice there too. So that was very well done. I did like the factor of having Kalani come in here, take away Jasmine, make everything equal for the girls. And now it's when Jacy gets distracted, and that cost her the match in there as well. And and yeah, the end, we get Giulia and Stephanie winning. Kalani's raising their arms in the middle in the ring. And then we get Cora and Roxanne watching from the Eagle's Nest. It was beautiful.
I was wrong.
There. Now you're gonna play the clip. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, I was wrong. Shit happens. They did the stupid thing. We didn't need it. There's no reason we had to do it, but they did it anyways. I still think that people should calm the fuck down, and we should wait and let this organically happen in 6 to 8 months once we're done with them in NXT.
Well, those are your teeth.
They're not going anywhere. We don't need it right this second. Stephanie literally just got here. After the match, though, speaking of people that just got here, we go ahead and Fallon and Jacy spin the wheel, and it goes spinner's choice. This is going to be a handicap match, isn't it? 3-on-1 handicap match.
I feel like that would be interesting, but at the same time, are they going to be like, we're co-champions? Like, they cool.
No, because they're not nearly as cool as Lay Cool.
I know, but I mean, are we gonna get that, or do we get Delta being there, kind of evening the odds in a way?
I don't think Delta's there to save Kalani.
Well, what if she wants Kalani for herself in the championship?
I was gonna say, I think she wants Kalani
Save
for
her
herself.
now, and then you take the championship from her.
No, I think a better way would be have her beat all 3 members of Toxic Trio.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like that, by beating all of them, you're technically saving Kalani, and then you get Kalani and Delta for the next one.
We're going to be very careful with this because copyright hates us. So we're going to mute it. We're going to actually not use this screen. We're going to use this one because we can. Yeah, Andre and Mel will have to deal. We'll get rid of that. That and that. There we go. We got to keep Chef Sean in the shot. If it's smaller, they might not hate us as much if we play it.
Yeah, why don't you forward it towards like the second half of it? Maybe that'll help.
Well,
because we don't need the beginning.
But the beginning's part of the part that matters. Because she breaks through the NXT wall, Halloween Havoc wall, in a couple of seconds. Back in the arena, back outside. I mean, just look at this look, though. Isn't this great?
Yeah.
And she breaks the Halloween Havoc wall. And again, I'm pausing it so I don't get in trouble. Or at least less of a chance of us getting in trouble.
Yeah.
And then there she is. Delta is here. She's scary.
Very much so.
I think I have a new dummy mommy.
I was thinking that in my mind.
Yep. I think I might have a new one. But yes. Nope, this one. There we go. She does look incredibly cool. They've really made an effort to make sure that she looks like a badass. It was awesome to see Delta on NXT TV. I'm still hoping to potentially see the real Zeta. It'd be great if somebody signed. At this point, I don't even care if the other people sign Zeta, as long as somebody signs Zeta.
Yes, please.
We've got 3 major signing in the NXT women's division: Delta, Stephanie Vaquer, and Giulia. Yeah, and they all debuted in less than a month or so from each other. It's really incredible that they've managed to do this. Yeah, WWE really did win the bidding war of 2024. I mean, they didn't win MJF, but they won everything else.
No, I was gonna say that is the real bidding war, the girls, not MJF.
And Millie brings this up, and I want to bring this up. Rhea did tweet, Zarya, welcome to WWE. She was very excited to see the promo earlier today, and that when they changed her name, they had Rhea tweet out. But yeah, Delta and Rhea in a ring. I'd love it if they let, for now, to bide time to make her look like an even bigger badass, if she went up to deal with Raquel Gonzalez. If they wanted to make her like a significant badass, they have her go back up Rhea Ripley against Raquel Gonzalez.
I can't imagine. That's crazy.
But before we get to all the stuff that we've got coming up this weekend, we're going to go ahead and play a wonderful calendar to tell you what you can see right here on our local establishment this week.
Please note. Never gonna stop, never gonna change, never gonna do the things you say. I run my own way to get there. Fools are calling and I don't seem to care. In the air, no more crowd, just the opposite kind of few clouds. So tell me this time is coming, for the sake of all your lies.
By the way, I wish you all could see what I see when that video plays. Astrid goes full rock star in the bottom little graphic bottom that we have. It's fantastic. No, we've got a couple shows coming up. Debuting on Saturday. It'll be a pre-recorded show, but on Saturday, we're going to be joined by Robert DeFelice of Fightful, because Astrid doesn't want to pronounce his last name for some reason.
I didn't want to butcher it, okay? Sorry, Robert.
Well, this is the graphic for our pre-show. We're going to be recording it tomorrow night, so there will be things that we are going to talk about that we think are going to happen at Halloween Havoc that we don't necessarily know yet, that will probably be known by the time we get to Saturday. And Sunday, after the show is over, join us with Megan as we go ahead and talk about all of the happenings after Halloween Havoc ends. And look, Astrid, 2 graphics. I put myself on the thumbnail. Are you happy now?
Yeah.
Are you happy now?
Yes, keep it going.
So when nobody shows up now, we can blame it on the fact that I'm on the graphics and then nobody wants to see me.
Oh, don't say that.
But no, Astrid, that's what we've got coming up. What other stuff do you got coming up this weekend? Do you have a ladies wrestling showcase coming up?
No, we don't, because we got other stuff coming up. Before I forget, I'm trying to remember the date. Okay, Saturday. So we have the Bound for Glory post show. It's Mel, myself, and maybe Kimi So Cool. We'll see if she joins us because she's very cool. But it'll be a ladies fashion showcase, Bound for Glory post show. I'm kidding. No, it'll be a regular post show for Bound for Glory, and like you said, we have the pre-show. We're recording, so we're gonna get that as well, and then the post show. So a whole weekend of wrestling coming up because of everything that's happening. So very exciting wrestling weekend. So yeah, aside from that, no, there's only that. You can find me on my YouTube channel, which is Astrid Pizarro, just like my name. If you click on the bell to be notified whenever I upload or go live. You can also find me on my Twitter and Blue Sky as Astrid Pizarro, and my Instagram and Twitter is Astrid Pizarro 20. And then you can go ahead and do the rest because you're doing better than I do.
You're going to have to get good at this someday. If you want to support Astrid on the WWE Shop, if you want to get your own merchandise from WWE Shop, maybe you're going to want the new Zarya shirt that they're about to debut. Maybe you want to go ahead and get your favorite Rhea Ripley shirt or Damian Priest shirt. Or maybe you want to get the Dominic Mysterio toilet paper. Go ahead and scan this QR code, and you can go ahead and use that to get the same great deals as every other deal on WWEshop.com. But a little bit of it gets kicked back to the natural so that she can go ahead and give us access to the Canva, so that she can do all the wonderful stuff that she does for us. We would greatly appreciate it. If you want to support her a little bit more directly, you can go ahead and get the shirt that the wonderful Mel Ball Collins and Mike the Ref are wearing and modeling right here for you. And that can all be accessed at that QR code right there. Or you can go to foryourwear.com/Astrid-Pizarro, Pizarro/. You can go ahead and get that. It's fantastic stuff. We greatly appreciate anything that you do to help support us here. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up on Astrid's channel and on the All Local Establishment channel. We greatly appreciate all of that. Maybe you want to debut a pre-shirt on the WWE Shop. You might. I mean, I know Astrid already has it, but maybe other people might want it. Delta debuted on NXT after the tag team main event, but NXT, I managed to see the debut. Astrid missed it, so I showed it to her. We just showed it off in the chat here, so if you want, go back on the YouTube side after we end, and you can go back and rewind. You can go ahead and hear us talk all about it. Logan, thank you for joining us. We do greatly appreciate it. If you want to see me, you can find me here, EdFries12584 on Twitter, twitch.tv/EdFries2002 if you want to see any of the other content that I make. Tomorrow night, me and 2/3 of Andre C are going to be talking all about Agatha All Along, episode 7. We're not going to let Andre talk anything about what happened last week. We're going to make him just go forward. He's going to be really, really bad at me. It's fine. He'll understand. But no, Agatha All Along took a big jump forward in the story last week by going back. So that was a lot of fun. And I can't wait. We got 2 weeks left, 3 episodes. Next week is going to be a double episode. You can also catch me with Astrid on all the shows that she's doing, with the exception of the Bound for Glory show, because I am indeed not ladies wrestling material. So that's fine. But remember, next week you can catch me, Ed Fries, as Quizmaster Extraordinaire on the Not What Do We Know About Wrestling Trivia Show with Bobby Munson, Papa Smokes, Kimmy Sokol, and Auntie Collins, all competing to see if
Oh
they
gosh, full house.
I'm giving them. Plus, if you want to be there, you can jump in the chat and you can try to win either the YouTube or the Twitch championships for the trivia contest. So if you know some wrestling trivia, I'm going to give you a hint. It's a little bit Halloween focused. Once we get to the first question, the rest of them will all be there. You'll be able to get it. It's a whole bunch of fun. We have 10 questions. It'll be a whole bunch of fun before we get to Honor Ramble. So please make sure you join us. And of course, make sure that you follow all of our good friends. I'm going to shout out one in particular this week because he had some great new content come up with Harley Cameron. Justin the Wrestling Classic. Go ahead and go to all his social medias here. You can find him all over the place, but find him at TWC Worldwide on Twitter, or go to Linktree and go to the Wrestling Classic to find all his stuff. And remember, he sells merch for all those some of those NXT superstars that may not be getting merch on WWEshop.com. If you go to 505 level, you can go ahead and get some merch from there, including Karmen Petrovic, to support her in this trying time as she has to pretend to be in love with Ashante the Adonis. So, with all that said, thank you for joining us. It's been a bunch of fun. We'll see you next time.